We are in Curtis, Nebraska at Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture, where the Rural Futures Conference is going on here in Curtis. It's also being hosted in Lincoln at the same time. For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Jessie Harding. Joining us is Associate Dean of NCTA, Scott Mickelsen. Scott, we have a lot of different people here going to be talking here, also Skyping in from Lincoln. What is going on here today and tomorrow?
You know, it's a great event. We got we're hosting it here, co-hosting it, and it's pretty awesome because we're a rural college and it's a Rural Futures Conference, so it's a great connection for us to be associated with that. Some of the people that are here is some of our students. We have faculty and staff. We have people from Southwest Nebraska. We've got 4 high schools here. There are 3 high schools that are here that are represented, Elm Creek, Cozad, and Cambridge. So, you know, as we looked for the future of agriculture, it's important to have these young kids involved and start training them in leadership ideas to deal with rural issues as we move forward.
With these high school students and college students both here, what is maybe something that you hope that high school students kind of take to college with them and then college students can take to their job after they graduate? You
know, I hope as the high school students are here that they make some connections with some college students and realize the importance of continuing on with their education. And as the college students are here and listening to these panelists and the speakers, that they understand the importance of rural issues and the role that they can play as they go out into those rural communities and provide leadership in those rural communities to help sustain those rural communities and move them forward.
This afternoon, we're having several different panel speakers. You're hosting some of those panels. What are some of those topics of conversation going to be?
Our noon panel is actually with the 3 high schools. And what we did about 6-8 months ago is we developed a partnership with them, and it's called an Ag Consortium. And we have a diversified ag certificate and irrigation certificate that we're offering those high school students so they can start taking those college level courses while they're in high school. And hopefully they stay on that track. And when they get done with their high school education, they also graduate with a certificate from NCTA. So that panel's talking about that program a little bit, and then also kind of the diversity of those schools, the importance of this program to those schools and the students in those communities.
As we have the students here, some of those high school students, and then maybe being able to interact with some of the community college students as well as the NCTA students, what is that maybe going to do for them both?
You know, I think anytime we come together like this, our conference theme is Hope Inspires Vision. And as we look at things, I think hope inspires more than vision. I think hope is the foundation of doing great things, because without hope, that's the foundation. And without that, we don't move forward on great projects. So I'm hoping as part of this conference, as they're here with, you know, some of the people from their high schools, some of the adults, they're here with professors from here and community leaders. Hopefully they can start to build that foundation of hope, which will inspire that vision and projects in their communities as they grow and develop as leaders in those areas.
As you mentioned earlier, NCTA really is a rural school out here in Curtis. Is any maybe of the community participating, or do you have any feedback from them on the conference kind of being co-hosted here?
You know, I really don't. There are some community members here, not from Curtis themselves, but some of the towns that are surrounding, and I know some of their visions, and they're very involved with some of the rural issues, bringing businesses into those rural communities, helping those rural communities grow and stay established, and that's, you know, from schools to the local grocery stores to the gas station, people traveling through, coming here for events such as this. You know, it helps fill up the motel room, and people are eating at our cafeteria here on campus, and caterers coming in, and there'll probably be some food services downtown at our local cafes. So we're here in a rural setting, but people are here taking advantage of those rural services that are provided. So I think it's pretty important to have this be a co-host here at NCTA in a rural setting.
NCTA did get a grant from Rural Futures to do some of the gardens and working on the farmers market. As you kind of look to the future after co-hosting this, is there going to be maybe more partnerships with the Rural Futures?
We sure hope so. You know, we're always looking at those opportunities, and that it's awesome that they have that money and that capability to offer those services. Brad Ramsdale and T. Bush are the 2 that went after that grant and got it for the community garden in the farmers market. And this is our 2nd year, I think, in that scholarship or that grant, and it's been a great success. Our garden is filled up both years. We haven't had empty plots. The farmers market, every Saturday there's 3 or 4 people there that are selling produce and things that they've made out of their home. So for a small community, and it's been great to see.
Is there any final words you'd like to share with us being here at the Rural Futures Conference?
I think this is a great concept, and, you have to applaud the University of Nebraska-Lincoln for coming up with this. I think they've really taken a lead on this, I would say, for around the world, but for definitely in the United States. As I look back upon people who started with hope as a vision, there was a young boy that I knew when I was going to college that his mom asked him to spray weeds. And so he went out, pulled out an old lawnmower that his dad had in the bone pile, and built a sprayer on the back. And he was about 9 years old at that time. And so he had a hope, and his mom instilled in him a vision and hard work, and so he came out of that. And also another one that Amberly Snyder, who was a barrel racer and was in an accident and paralyzed, and she hoped that she could ride again, that she could barrel race again, and so that hope is her foundation for achieving her dream and competing at the collegiate level and the professional level now. So, that hope is so important. I think the theme of our conference and what the University of Nebraska has done with this is awesome.
We are here in Curtis at Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture, where they're co-hosting the Rural Futures Conference that's going on here in Curtis as well as in Lincoln. For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Jesse Harding.